Currently, we are in the middle of a pandemic. Major superpowers of the world are struggling to revive their economies. But something sinister is going in background. And no, it's not coronavirus, it's not unemployment. It is called as China's debt trap diplomacy. Consider you need 20 lakh rupees. Mr. X, a powerful landlord, offers to pay you that money, although at some conditions. You're very happy because you're getting the money. Then after some years, time comes to paying back. Now, the 20 lakh which you owe to him has become 40 lakh due to interest. Now this is not the only problem. You don't have enough money to pay him back. What do? He comes in, takes away your car, takes away a part of your business, maybe the ownership of your home. And this is how the debt trap diplomacy works. Mr. X here is China, and the diplomacy is called as China's debt trap diplomacy. China is splashing out billions of dollars at concessional rates across the globe. Most of the poor and developing countries are often lured into this debt trap because of the promise of the transformative infrastructure projects in their country. Then, as predictably, when these poor nations are not able to keep up with the repayments, China demands for other geopolitical favors like control of their land, control of their natural resources, control of the space in the specific country, for furthering their military, trade and political agenda. One of the most cited examples of the alleged debt trap diplomacy by China is the loan given to the Sri Lankan government by the Exim Bank of China. Due to Sri Lanka's inability to service the debt on the port, it was leased to China on a 99-year lease in 2017. This not only caused protests in Sri Lanka but caused concern in United States, Japan and India that the port might be used as a Chinese naval base to contain China's geopolitical rivals in the region. Under the Belt and Road Initiative, China has given loans to Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Laos, Maldives, Tajikistan. String of pearls is a geopolitical theory on the potential Chinese intentions in the Indian Ocean region. Many commentators in India believe this plan, together with the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor and other parts of China's Belt and Road Initiative under Xi Jinping, is a threat to India's national security. This, as such, a system would encircle India and threaten its power projection, trade and potentially territorial integrity. But is it just India's problem? Definitely not. Many other countries like Venezuela, Malaysia, Laos, Maldives, Mongolia, Tonga, Papua New Guinea, even developed countries like Australia are impacted due to this. In Greece, China bought an important port in Athens at a 51% stake after the economic crisis in 2016. All these strategic trade routes connect the world to China, be it by road or be it by sea. Building these new ports, bridges and infrastructure at strategic locations, China is aiming for much bigger thing called as the New Silk Route. Italy's decision to join the project has elevated the issue to a new level. As the first developed economy and G7 member to join, the move has lent the project symbolic legitimacy. Total of 29 deals amounting to $2.9 billion were signed in Rome. There used to be an old saying called as all roads lead to Rome. But if this continues, there won't be too far a time where all roads will lead to Beijing. Thank you.